the Thunder getting a 92-87 win in Game 4. So OKC dodges a 3-1 sinkhole. And instead, abracadabra, hocus pocus, the Thunder, Kyrie's Thunder, not Kyrie Irving, the other Kyrie. He lives in OKC. He's a big fan of the show. So his Thunder are now even up 2-2. Game 5 will be on Tuesday night. And so we have time to look at that. Now, as we were reminded last hour when Tyrese Halliburton of the Pacers pointed out that when the team loses, he doesn't have to talk. When they win, he's cool with talking. So the better story is in the losing locker room, so that is where we will go. That is where our focus will be, and much of the conversation on the Joker. What has happened to the Joker? What has happened? OMG. The greatest player of this generation, greatest big man in the conversation with all-time legends of the game, and he has been dreadful of late. So let us get into it. The question, how concerned should the Nuggets be with Nikola Jokic at this point? So I've got Walmart, Tears for Fears, and Rumpelstiltskin. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make Rocky Mountain oysters, which I had to eat. I lost a bet. I think all the Nuggets players should have to eat Rocky Mountain oysters after that shooting performance. Holy crap. All right, so to answer the question, how concerned should the Nuggets be with Nikola Jokic? On the patented Maller scale of concern, from 1 to 10, Maller scale of concern from 1 to 10, with 10 being you're smoking hookah with Luka out of the playoffs. That's the highest level. I am at an 8.0. 8.0 on the Maller scale of concern for Nikola Jokic. And here's why. They say that seeing is believing, whoever they are. And we're not used to seeing what we're seeing from Nikola Jokic here. Denver was up by 8 points early in the fourth quarter. It was a disgusting offensive performance by both teams. More on that in a second. But they were up by 8. So if you saw the game, Denver was up 71-63. Now, 8 is not a game-changing lead or anything like that. But you have an 8-point lead. You're at home. It's the fourth quarter. The final 11 minutes and 26 seconds of that basketball game was the big bang, big clank, whatever you want to call it there. Now, Nikola Jokic in particular, we're talking about him. The final 11 minutes of that game, he took 7 shots. He only made 2 of them. And the Nuggets were outscored by 13 points to close the game. Denver, from an 8-point lead to the end of the game, shot less than 30%. They took 21 shots. They missed a mind-boggling 15 of the 21. Not all of them were from three-point range, although they really did suck from three-point range. They took 11 three-pointers, up 8 to the end of the game. They made 1. That is 9.1%. 9.1%. So the Nuggets, what they did is they went to Walmart. They went down to Walmart, and they bought some bicycle playing cards. They got those out, and they built this house of cards, and then they pulled the Joker out of the house of cards, and the whole thing came tumbling down, 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 down. You get the point. Jokic, he looked frazzled. He played bedraggled. I've not seen him like this. Maybe when he was early in his career and nobody, he was drafted, the famous story during a Taco Bell commercial, and nobody knew who he was, and people said he was going to be good in Denver, and you're like, yeah, sure, he's going to be good. Yeah, right. But since he established himself, I cannot recall a stink bomb stretch of games this bad. Now, we don't watch every Nuggets game, right? We pay attention to the playoffs, and this is brutal. And so frazzled on the court, and that's what he looked like, and then the eyeball test confirmed that. Last 3 games, Nikola Jokic shooting 33.3%, half the sign of the devil. 18% from three-point range, which is dreadful. And he's got 15 assists and 16 turnovers combined in the last 3 games. P.U. What stinks? Now, that is the worst 3-game stretch shooting for Jokic in the last 7 years. He is completely befuddled, but it's not because of anything Oklahoma City's doing. I'm not noticing. Maybe I'm missing it, but if you can tell me, help me out. I've not noticed anything that the Thunder are doing that is any different than the other teams are attempting to do. So this is more of a problem with Jokic, and whether my theory is he just got worn down. It's really Zubac. The Clippers wore his ass down, and it took so much effort to beat the Clips that Jokic, he's not in the greatest shape in the world, and he's being exposed here. He's not in great physical condition, didn't have a lot of extra time off, which is part of the deal, right? He's running on fumes. There's a lot of miles on the car, and Zubac and the Clippers wore him out. Now the Thunder are benefiting, yet again, another team benefiting from the generosity of the Clippers. That they wore out Zubac wore out Jokic, and now the team that benefits is Oklahoma City because of the Clippers. Yet again, helping a team advance in the playoffs. Pathetic. All right, now page 2. So one of the great underlying storylines, if you will, I don't know if I'm saying that the right way, in this particular series, one of the great talking points is the amount of time between Game 3 and Game 4. Ergo, we had Jeff in Denver, that Nugget lapdog who called up last hour. But about 36 hours after the overtime Game 3 Friday night game, which went to the Nuggets, they had the early television window on Mother's Day. And that rubbed many media elites the wrong way. They were very upset. The basketball media elites were offended. Their sensibilities. It's not fair. Oh, my God. We had a reporter I've never heard of from The Athletic who said it was absolutely ridiculous of the NBA to have the series go every other day and then put Game 4 in the early portion of the Sunday schedule, having Game 3 as the late game on Friday. He added on, quote, "It's actually kind of dangerous." Now, we looked. Nobody died, so that's good. We made it through the game. No one dropped dead from playing in the game early on Mother's Day, so that's positive. So you talk about risking your life. Bro, I ain't playing. I'm risking my life, bro. It's Blake Snell. So Charles Barkley then chimed in on television, and he got into the action. Sir Charles, who you would not expect this take. Like, you would expect the opposite take. You would not expect this take from Charles Barkley. But Charles Barkley went on a rant on TNT. He said, I thought what the NBA did to the Nuggets was unfair. It was unfair, Barkley said, making them play late Friday night and then early afternoon. Not on Saturday, mind you, on Sunday. He said, all right. Let's break it down like this. So you have one reporter say it was dangerous, borderline dangerous, actually kind of dangerous. Kind of dangerous, a reporter said. You have Charles Barkley who said it's unfair. It's unfair of the NBA to have the Thunder and Nuggets play the early game on Sunday. So, question is this ridiculous as it sounds? This is insane to the membrane to me. It is. I don't get it. They're playing basketball. They play 48 minutes, and they had to play, oh, my God, they had to play overtime, an extra few minutes. And they do that in the span of about 2 hours, right? 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever it is, less than that, 2:20, these games, with all the TV timeouts and all the stoppages and all that stuff. It's like, what are we doing? Seriously. Playoffs? I mean, I do not understand. It wasn't unfair. It was even. Both teams had to play the same schedule. The schedule is also made in advance. It's made, by the way, for television. I'll make a deal with you. If these guys want, all these idiots in the media, who are, by the way, making money because of this, why not just play, have no television, have no media coverage? You can play whenever the F you want. How about that? Go out there and knock your lights out. Play when no one will watch. You're not going to make any real money, because it's all directed through television, it's all funneled through TV. But go out there, take a week off, play like the NFL. These NBA guys are such softies, play once a week. And you'll complain about that. You'll say, oh, it's too demanding. It's so stupid. It is so ridiculous. that we're at the point now where you had a game on a Friday night, you had Saturday off, and you had to play on Sunday. The game started at what, 1:30 local time? Oh my God. Dangerous. Unfair. Dangerous. God. Do you imagine if the military approached things that way? Like the Marines have the slogan, embrace the suck. The NBA, bitch about the suck. That's the NBA mantra. Complain about it. Complain about it, right? They used to play back-to-backs in the NBA playoffs. Oh, my God. Horror of horrors. Draconian. The Middle Ages. The NHL, which is a much more demanding, manly sport, hockey. We don't talk about it because, more people watch basketball. But it's much more demanding physically to play hockey than is basketball. And the NHL, if I'm not mistaken, they go every other day. That's their schedule. Every other day in the playoffs. They do every other day. But the NBA guys and the media that cover the NBA, the toe lickers, it's pathetic. And, wow. I mean, so as far as where things are looking now for Oklahoma City at this particular point, obviously they're looking up. I would say it's not anything that Oklahoma City is doing per se. I don't think they've found some cheat code to stop Nikola Jokic. Again, the war of attrition, which is supposed to be part of this, that is supposed to be part of the deal, that it's the Tears for Fears song, War of Attrition, that you are in this, and the team that stands at the end is the one that survived the War of Attrition, the Tears for Fears song. And right now, Oklahoma City's even up with the Nuggets, and so we'll see who can win the last two of the last three games. But again, I don't think it's anything Oklahoma's doing that is great here. That's why they're in position. It was a tough afternoon for both teams. Oklahoma City shot 35% and won the game because the Nuggets were worse. But it's not because they were good. They weren't good. They didn't shoot well from anywhere. 24% from three-point range. It's not like anyone did it. In the first quarter, it was like a make-a-wish situation with these guys out there with both teams. So anyway, I will move away from that. We'll go to baseball quickly. We had a managerial change in a Maller monologue requested by Supermarket Steve, so everyone wants hot Rocky talk. So here's some hot Rocky talk, a few good minutes. So the Rockies announced on Sunday, after they won a game, they decided that, we have decommissioned our manager, Bud Black, and we've also whacked his buddy, the bench coach, Mike Redmond. They have been fired. They're out of here. See you later. So somebody named Warren Schaefer, we have no idea who that is. He is now the interim manager of the Rockies. And Clint Hurdle, we've heard of him. He used to manage the Rockies. He's back as the interim bench coach. Okay. So then we had Dave Roberts, not a Rocky, a Dodger. Dave Roberts comment after the Dodgers poleaxed the Diamondbacks. Dave Roberts ran to defend Bud Black. The Dodger manager said not even Casey Stengel could change the outcome for the Rockies. That was the money quote, which begs the question, did Bud Black get a raw deal from the Rockies? And I have two words. One starts with an A and one starts with an N. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Colorado has sucked the entire time Bud Black has been there. Now, they're epically bad. They are historically bad. They are Hall of Fame level trash this year. There's even the mascot's having a bad year for the Rockies right now. And when you are the worst team in baseball and then lose a game 21-0, your manager gets fired. That is universally how it works. They lost on Saturday 21. The Rockies, of course, they couldn't get all their ducks lined up. They had to wait till after the game on Sunday to fire Bud Black. They should have fired him on Saturday night, but they didn't. And so, listen, as far as Dave Roberts' part of this, you get it. Dave Roberts is like, listen, this is a guy I beat up on. And all coaches defend coaches, all managers defend managers. That doesn't work in the radio, by the way. Other talk show hosts don't defend other talk show hosts. They rip other talk shows. But in sports, coaches always look out for other coaches, right? The managers always look out. So it's the same thing. But Bud Black was tasked with being a cousin of Rumpelstiltskin. He was asked to spin worthless dust into diamonds. And he has failed every year he's been there. The team has gotten progressively worse in terms of talent. But even when they had talent there, and they had some ball players with Bud Black, and it never worked. It never worked. And so, yeah, you got a tough hand of cards. You shouldn't be like a Little League team, which is what the Rockies are this year. You know, you maybe don't hit, play defense, right? So they can't hit, they can't field, they can't pitch. I don't know what else there is. Other than that, they look good in uniform. The Rockies, what happened to coach them up? What happened to coach them up, right? The kill shot, you lose 21-0. That's it. You're done. See you later. Goodbye. Somebody's got to lose their job, and you're the guy to lose the job and all that. But don't feel bad for Bud Black. It is estimated he has earned over $17 million to manage Rockies baseball. $17 million. And overall, he has spent 18 years, Bud Black, as a Major League Baseball skipper with the Padres and the Rockies. It's a long run. You know how many playoff wins Bud Black has in San Diego and Colorado in 18 years as a big league manager? He's got one more than you and I have, and Lorena and Coop. He won one playoff game. One. Number one. That's it. Bud Black, one playoff win. So, yeah, if I was Dave Roberts, I would be upset because, listen, you're guaranteed at least 10 wins a year if you're the Dodgers playing the Rockies. If the Rockies actually get some decent ball players and a manager that knows what they're doing, they might actually compete with teams like the Dodgers rather than be at the very bottom in the sewer.